and stick him straight up the candy.
Pick your goal and stick fucking to it. You wishy-washy motherfuckers. I can't fucking stand you.
I wanted to make sure that out of the 24 hours of the day, that I don't waste one single hour. Those hours were too precious. And so there I just want to tell people, don't give me this thing, I have a difficult time with the time and I don't have time for this and I don't have that. You have time. You make the time.
And now, welcome to the Be Informed, Live Fit podcast, sponsored by FitnessInformant.com.
All right, everybody, what's up? What's going on? Welcome inside episode 16 of the Be Informed, Live Fit podcast. I am your host, Fitness Informant Founder and CEO, Ryan Buckeye. Thank you for stopping by. If this is the first time you're checking out the podcast and you like what you hear today, do me a huge favor. Subscribe here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts. However you're listening to the show, go ahead and check out some of the recent former episodes. Our first one dating back to last May featured the 8-time Mr. Olympia champion, Ronnie Coleman, but we've had some really amazing guests throughout our time so far, and it's 2019. Welcome. Happy New Year, right? It's a brand new year here for each and every single one of you people listening. I know you probably made a New Year's resolution. A lot of our New Year's resolutions revolve around fitness and a healthier lifestyle, so if those are your goals and those are what you're trying to accomplish in 2019, make sure you stick with us because we are here to help you accomplish those goals any way we possibly can. 2019 also is a turning point in the era of Fitness Informant. You may have been seeing and watching across social media channels as we led up to the new year of different teasers and of different images and things that we broadcasted out via our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And if you're not following us on those, make sure you're doing that. But we went ahead and we were promoting a bunch of different things that we did, and now you've seen what that is. It's a new brand, it's a new branding, and I want to explain tonight and today exactly why we did that, because I think it'll make more sense if I use some of my my own words to explain the brand. And then the whole episode today is really going to be talking about building a business, especially within the world of supplements. Now, people listening are probably thinking like, Ryan, Fitness Informant's not a supplement company. What do you know about building a brand? Well, first off, Fitness Informant is a brand. I had to build this thing, right? So I had to start from ground zero with nothing. I had to build this, but I also have extensive experience within brand building and extensive experience within business in general. So I think that this is going to be a good episode for people out there who have ever thought about maybe starting a business, people out there who ever thought about starting a supplement business, especially, but really like how to approach and strategize to accomplish something in which you're trying to accomplish, whether that be something in your personal life or in business life, and we'll talk about that as well. But we have a couple new segments here this week that we want to get into first before we start hopping into all the big hot topics of the week. And again, the hot topic of the week is brand building 101, basically, and then how we want to build a business. But first off, like this week's Pumped Up segment. That's right. We have a brand new Pumped Up segment. Really, what is Ryan pumped up about this week? And this week's Pumped Up segment is being brought to you by Build Fast Formula's award-winning Vaso Blitz Pump Igniter. Not only is Vaso Blitz the winner of the Fitness Informant 2018 Shield of Excellence Supplement Award for Best Pump Product, but it's also the first fully dosed nitrate-based formula with 30 servings, not scoops. That's right, 30 servings of a daily dosed pump formula featuring nitrates. When Vaso Blitz is consumed daily, even on your off days, yes, take this stuff on your off days, people, keep that pump going. It will last you a full month. All this for only $34.99. And as a special offer to the Be Informed, Live Fit listeners and the fans of FitnessInformant.com, use coupon code INFORMANT to save 15% off as well. You can go over to FitnessInformant.com, check out the full review of Vaso Blitz. It's an awesome pump product, a really good value. And you can purchase the product through the links right there on the site. So what am I pumped up about this week? I'm attending my first Arnold. That's right. I'm going to the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. It'll be March 1st through the 3rd. So it's Friday through Sunday. And I've never been to the Arnold. I've been to the Olympia. I've been to the Olympia several times. But this year, things are going to sort of blossom for FI. I spent the first 2 years really building this business and building this brand. And this really brings me into like the rebrand. We built this brand based off of transparency, honesty, integrity, the loyalty and love and following and support of each and every single one of you who are listening to this show. And without that shit, man, we wouldn't be here. But really, it's that transparency. It's that no bullshit approach that we've been taking since day one as we take on the supplement and fitness industry head on. There are a lot of people who take this industry on, but they do it from a different angle. They kind of like, they dance around it. Fuck that. I'm not dancing around anything. I am coming at this full steam ahead because you, the consumer, who work hard for your money, should be spending on things that's going to help you achieve your goals, not be detrimental or not be just a big bag of bullshit, right? So this is what I'm pumped up about. Going to the Arnold and networking with companies that we have not worked with before, because I get DMs and messages from you people all the time asking me, have you reviewed this? Or will you review this? Well, there's so many supplement companies and nutrition companies that I possibly cannot do them all myself. So I'm expanding my staff. I'm actually bringing on 3 to 4 different people to help review and product test for us here at Fitness Informant. That's a really cool thing. And if you want more information on that, let me know. Reach out to me and let me know. We are looking for 3 to 4 different people to personally review supplements that they're going to get from free from me for fitnessinformant.com. So I'm pumped up, fucking pumped up, baby, about going to the Arnold in Columbus, networking with people in which I've already had a relationship with. So seeing guys like Aaron Singerman again from Redcon, guys like Mark Lobmeyer, guys that I've had a digital relationship with, but I've actually never met in person, like Chris Waldron, Inspired Nutraceuticals CEO. Ben Kane, I've actually met him in person before, but he's over at Olympus Labs now. The guys at Spar Nutrition, like the guys from Ghost are not going to be there, but if Dan was there, damn it, you bet your ass I'd be there with him. I'm even excited to meet with James. He's the national sales director for Bang, a company in which I've been very vocal about. So I'm just pumped up about going to the Arnold and being able to network and showcase our new branding, the new Fitness Informant, really getting the name out there, because really, when people talk about supplement industry at this point, and we talk about media outlets, we'll consider ourselves a media outlet, that's fine. They talk about 3. There's the 2 that have been around forever. There's Price Plow, who's been around the longest, I think for 10 years now. And then there's Shane over at Stacked, who Shane's been on the show. Both Mike and Shane have been on the show. And I think Shane at Stacked's been here now 7, 8 years. This is our 3rd year, people, and we're kicking ass. We are taking names and we are kicking ass in this industry. And as you can tell from the way I'm talking on this podcast and from the way I get amped up and I'm ready to go, man, I'm fucking ready to just blow it up this year in 2019 for Fitness Informant. I am ready to make FI essentially you don't buy a supplement before you come to Fitness Informant. That's the goal, right? Like, I have a mission statement. That's not the mission statement. My mission statement is that someday, at some point, every decision made as it pertains to your health, wellness, and fitness and nutrition is made from an educated point of view. That's my mission statement at Fitness Informant, meaning we are going to help people become educated on decisions that need to be made. And to do that, it's called networking. It's called working with these brands. It's called people and these brands investing in the FI platform so we can help spread the word to thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people about what we're doing here at FI. So I'm pumped up about that. If you're going to be at the Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio that weekend and you see me, I'm going to be rolling around in some FI swag, talking to a bunch of people. I don't have a booth. I'm not wasting fucking money on a booth, and we'll have a conversation about that at some point on this podcast, I'm sure. But I will be there. I'll be at the expo both Friday and Saturday, and I'll be out and about, hanging out, and I'll be clanging and banging. I know Powerhouse Gym is right down there. I need to hit that up, obviously. And just say I did. So I am stoked about the Arnold. That is what I'm pumped up about this week. And again, if you guys want more information on VasoBlitz, our #1 rated pump product, and also our 2018 Shield of Excellence Supplement Award winner for Best Pump Product of the Year, head over to fitnessinformant.com. The brands page is Build a Fast Formula. You can actually just search for VasoBlitz. It'll bring it up. You'll see the coupon code Informant to save 15% off. And if you do that, at some point, we're probably going to have some free samples and stuff for you all again. We had that. But we had an influx of people that requested it, and we had to shut it down because there were so many so quick, which is good. That's a good thing. So make sure you're following us on social media channels so that way in case when we do more sample giveaways or big giveaways, you have your opportunity to win. This week's Genius Moment of the Week. This is a new segment here as well. The Genius Moment of the Week. Really, like, what is a good moment? This is going to be workout, nutrition tips to help you become better. That is what a genius within this industry is going to do. This week's Genius Moment of the Week is being brought to you by the Genius brand. Our Genius Moment of the Week is going to be just some really good content that you guys can apply to your lives. And it's going to start with a sort of a dig, because how else am I going to start out a segment without maybe doing what I do? And that's that no bullshit dig approach if I have to. But keep in mind that the Genius brand offers high-quality supplements with scientifically proven, clinically dosed, all-natural ingredients. With a blatant disregard for profit margins, the Genius brand focuses on creating innovative, industry-leading wellness supplements to help you live an active, healthy, and long-lasting life. Supplement smarter today. Check out full reviews on the Genius brand over at fitnessinformant.com. Check under the brand page. Look for the Genius brand. Genius Test is a perfect score test booster. It's phenomenal. We're going to have Genius Mushroom posted soon. We're going to have more information on the Genius brand. This brand is not just an Amazon brand, people. This brand makes some really good stuff. Watch for them to break out in 2019. The Genius moment of the week this week is going to be about energy drinks and RTDs. And I've been very vocal about this, but it needs to be said more. Just because something gets put on a can, keto, or maybe it's amino acids or super creatine. Yes, Bang, I'm talking about you. It doesn't make these things good. Just because they're made from a fitness-centric company, like Bang is made from VPX, right? And I'm going to call them out just because they're the largest player in this niche space. And I have friends now over at Bang, but they know this, right? They sell a product which is cool to drink. The consumer not only thinks it's cool, the majority of consumers who consume Bang on a daily basis actually think that it's better for them than soda, than pop, however you want to say it. Bang is essentially a diet soda pop beverage. There, I said soda pop. So if you're consuming Bang 2-3 times a day, first off, that's a shit ton of caffeine. That's 300 milligrams of caffeine per can. Know this, it is not a healthier version of soda. Having a Bang or an energy drink here and there is fine. It's not going to kill you. But it shouldn't be something in your daily habit, I don't think. I mean, you can do what you want. You're an adult. But come on, guys. Girls, be smarter. Be smarter. The same can be said about protein bars. Just because you put the word protein on something doesn't mean it's better for you. It's simple. It's marketing. These companies are marketing the shit out of their products to you, and you're buying into it. You're buying into the bullshit. That is why Fitness Informant is here. We are here to cut through the bullshit, to make it a clarity for you, to clear things up. You know, it's going to be awesome. And this is what we're trying to do here at FI. And with companies like the Genius brand out there putting out really good supplements, maybe the Genius brand will come out with an RTD someday that's actually good for you. There are some RTDs that are better for you. They provide some sort of performance enhancement. But the majority of them is just sucralose water that happens to be carbonated in a can with 200, 300, 400 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. So just be cognizant of your decisions when you buy these things and you drink these things. If you're paying $2 for $3 of a rock star and you're like, this is cool, this is better than soda, it's not better than soda. In fact, in some cases, it's worse than soda. It's also not a pre-workout. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Like, your pre-workout is not a can of Bang. 300 milligrams is not a fucking pre-workout. Come on, guys. Girls, let's go. Pre-workout should be pillars. There should be pillars to a pre-workout. There should be a pump. There should be energy. There should be strength. There should be endurance. There should be focus. See how fired up I get about this stuff? Man, I get fired up about this stuff. I'm also fired up about the topic this week, and it's just me. That's fine. The topic this week is really brand building in the supplement industry and the mistakes that I see so many companies make. But there are some companies that do really well. There are some companies that just grow their business. Companies like our 2018 Brand of the Year winner, Redcon 1. Why is Aaron Sigerman and Redcon 1 successful? Because they built a brand the way you're supposed to build a brand. So if there's companies out there wondering, like, why can't I be the next $60 million company like Redcon 1? It's because you probably didn't build your brand appropriately. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that conversation. We're going to get to that topic that I think that I have credibility speaking about. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Hey, Speed Racer.
Hey, buddy.
It's just pre-workout.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Do me a favor, pull over.
the only fully dosed, ready-to-drink pre-workout available now at redcon1.com.
All right, guys, welcome back inside the Be Informed Live Fit podcast, episode 16. Before the quick little short break, I mentioned exactly what we're going to talk about this week on the podcast, and it's really brand building 101 in general. But specifically, I see it here in the supplement industry, the sports nutrition industry, and it started a conversation with Josh Shaw 2 weeks ago on episode 15 that really kind of brought it to fruition for me. And really what happens, I think what a lot of people do is they on the outsiders, people who've really never been involved in this industry might, like working out, might like taking supplements, might understand like certain ingredients in certain supplements. So they look at this, let's say like a pre-workout, and they take it, they enjoy it, and they think, well, I think I can make a better pre-workout. Maybe add in ingredient A, B, and C, and now you have a pre-workout that is extremely awesome and epic and something that I would love to take. So because I would love to take this, other people must also want to take this. That's not though how you should ever start a business, first off. But that's how a lot of times it starts. Another way it starts is people scroll through Instagram and they'll see people within this industry, CEOs or athletes posing next to a Lamborghini, or they'll be next to some, scantily clad dressed women, which is whatever. And they'll think, man, that's the life that I want. How do I get that life? Well, what the fuck? Start a supplement company. Start a sports nutrition company and become a millionaire. There should be a fucking ad on Instagram and Facebook for this, because there's plenty of ads from the contract manufacturers that are looking to sign these people and up for, a contract manufacturing plan, like a minimum run, MOQ, minimum order quantity of 1,000 units. You submit your formula. Maybe it's a $15 formula, which is super high. And you realize, man, to get into this industry is only going to cost me $15,000. In the scheme of things, that's not bad to start a business. I'll toss up a Facebook page, an Instagram page. Maybe I'll get a website designed quick for me from my friend from down the street. And next thing you know, I have a $15 pre-workout that I just paid for. I'm going to sell it for $39.99 or $49.99 through the website, and people are just going to flock to it. People are going to come and buy my product because it's superior to the other products, and it's priced exactly the same. Okay, let's start from the fucking beginning. Let's start from the beginning. You don't start a business that way. You start a business with an idea, right? You have an idea, and that's why you start a business. Fitness Informant, I had this idea that I wanted to help others make better decisions when it came to their health and fitness. I wanted people to be educated when they approach sports nutrition, their diets, their workouts. That was my idea. Now I have to figure out my business. Right now, how do I make this a business? Right now, it's just a hobby. It's a fucking idea, right? Like I could walk down the street and say, hey, everybody, don't buy this product. You know what? Buy this product instead. For those of you watching on YouTube, you just saw I held up EAA Pure from NutriBio. You could do that, word of mouth advertising, but in reality, there's a whole complex thing that goes into making a business, or at least it should be. You should spend some time into developing your business plan. And I've had conversations with supplement companies about this, that I think that they fail to understand several things. First off, you have this idea. You have this concept that you want to bring to fruition, and you want to make it real. You have this supplement that you want to make real. But a lot of people, what they'll do is they're like, here's my brand name. My brand name is Jacked Up Nutrition, and I'm going to make a pre-workout because that's what you do. Okay, let's back up again. So now you have this idea. You want to be a supplement company. Great. The second thing that a lot of people do is like, I want to start a supplement company. They define what they want, and it's going to be called X, and then they define themselves as their name. Your name does not necessarily define who you are, right? There's a lot of weird names out there. Like, you can look at like a name like Blackstone Labs, for instance. Like that doesn't necessarily it doesn't say who they are as a brand. Who you are as a brand is in your corporate values, in your mission statements, in your purpose statements. So, to not draw this out so long, you need to understand, okay, you want to be a supplement company and creating supplement companies. Then you need to understand like what type, right? Like, do I want to create premium high quality supplements for a niche consumer? Because that consumer looking for that supplement actually is really small. Or do I want them to get rich? Do I want to make a bunch of money and make a shitty supplement that costs nothing and focus on branding? Then you need to understand like who it is you are, right? So I just kind of touched on some of that right there. I said, okay, let's just say this. I want to be a premium supplement company. So I want to be in the supplement industry. I want to create premium supplements. So me, who am I? My identity, I am a supplement company that is creating high quality products to help change people's lives. And by high quality, let's take NutriBio, for instance, right? We just talked about them. Without compromise. Like that is who I am as a company. I am not compromising quality for greed. That is your company right there. That is your entire company. When you figure out who you are as a company, that helps you then go ahead and write your company values, right? Like in NutriBio's case, like their mission is not to create the highest quality supplements on the planet. It shouldn't be. Their mission should be something along the lines of, helping others achieve their fitness goals through the highest quality supplementation possible. Your mission statement should always be about the person, about the consumer, not your company. So what most companies will do is they'll define what they want to do. They'll define their brand name, but they don't necessarily define who they are and what they represent. And really, who you are and what you represent or what you want to represent should define what your brand name actually is going to be. Think about what I said before, Fitness Informant. I knew I wanted to create a platform in which I helped others make a better decision within their health and wellness life, their fitness life. That was who I wanted to be. My brand name, Fitness Informant, I'm informing people on fitness decisions, right? Like I'm informing them, I'm educating them. So my brand name stemmed from what I wanted to do. We are on a golf course, literally on a golf course with my buddy who does the SEO for this company. And he said, listen, man, you have all this passion for supplements. You have all this knowledge for ingredients. You can make something from this. You could be basically the vetting out process for the supplement user and let them know where they should be directing their dollars. And I said, yeah, man, I would love to do that. I mean, I love to educate others. I can be the informant, the fitness informant, right? My name came from who I wanted to be. The next thing that brands forget to do or don't do is they don't get to know or they don't define who their consumer is. And this is a huge mistake so many brands make. I've had conversations with brands. I'll say before you can really develop your marketing strategy, you need to do two things. First, you need to define is who you are. What do you represent and what do you stand for? Because who you are, what you represent, and what you stand for, again, is going to define what your mission statement is, what your vision statement is, and what your values are. And from there, that should essentially help in all of your innovation. Any new product launch that you have should come from who you are, right? Like if you're a company like NutriBio, without compromise, creating high-quality supplements, you're not going to come out with a pro hormone. It doesn't fit who you are as a company. Nor in their case does it fit with their consumer. So the brands that, they don't necessarily know who they are, they also think that their target consumer is everyone. I've asked supplement companies, I said, who is your target consumer? Like, who are you? Who's your core customer? And they respond to me and they say, everyone. Everyone's our consumer. We're selling to everyone. Yeah, maybe you're selling to everybody, but you have a core consumer. Who's that consumer that keeps coming back to you? Who is that customer that keeps coming back to your domain and buying stuff month over month? That's who your consumer is. Do you know who he or she is? 9 times out of 10, I bet you don't. I bet you have no fucking clue who that person is. And because you don't know who that person is, you don't know how to market. You don't know how to create. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to crack $20 million as a company. It's simple. If you understand who you are as a business and you understand who your target consumer is, you will always behave within your company values. You will innovate within your company values. You will keep doing everything that you do to accomplish your mission statement. And you do that all through the target consumer, the person who believes most in you. You cannot be a company that serves all. That just doesn't exist. Look at Nike. We've talked about this before. And we talked about this 2 weeks ago on this podcast. Nike is one of the most popular apparel companies in the world. Michael Jordan made them famous. They came out with this Colin Kaepernick ad this last year, right? Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And it made so many people mad. So many people, middle-aged white men, were so mad. But that's not who their consumer is, so they didn't care. Nike didn't care if the 55-year-old white guy from Wisconsin was pissed off about the ad. I can say that because I'm from Wisconsin. They didn't care. They know who their target consumer is. It's the millennials. It's the Gen Xers. It's us. It's me. It's me. It's people like me who care about social movements. It's people like me who aren't homophobic and aren't racist. It's people like me who appreciate a campaign like the Colin Kaepernick campaign. They actually have more respect for Nike for doing it. They know that their target consumer is not everyone. They're smart. That's why they're as large as they are. So if you're going to alienate a portion of the population on what you do as a brand, and that scares you, think about what you're doing. You're in a business. You're not going to please everybody. Your business should make sense, and it's going to make sense most to those who believe in you. So if you're a supplement brand listening to this podcast, and you can't sit down after this podcast and tell someone sitting next to you who your target consumer is, really define who your target consumer is, then you need to take a day or two and do that. Webinars, phone calls, emails, whatever. What are their likes, their dislikes? Where do they shop? What do they eat? How often do they work out? Right? Because you have brands, like I mentioned before, Blackstone Labs. They make hardcore supplements, right? Or that's the perception of Blackstone. They make supplements for the hardcore bodybuilding community. They kind of know who their target consumer is. That's who they innovate towards. That's what they're known for. That's why they grew so goddamn big at one point. And you can say what you want about them now, that's fine. But at one point they were huge because they had everything defined. They're not going to come out with a vegan protein, right? They're not going to come out with a curcumin product. They're not going to come out with, they're most likely probably not going to come out with like any sort of vitamins, like some vitamins and stuff, like zinc and stuff like that. They're going to become combined with something. They could do a multivitamin, sure, but they're not going to do, like I just mentioned, they're not going to do like a red yeast tablet. Okay? So that's really what supplement companies need to do. All this too should come into it should come together when you design your packaging. I mean, your packaging should be designed towards your target consumer. There are so many people who like do package design based on what they like. It's like, oh, this looks cool to me. Let's put it out in the marketplace. Well, why don't you put it in front of your consumer and make sure that they like it, so you don't alienate them, because they're the ones who are supporting you and making sure that you have your lights turned on. I get fired up about this because I just look across this industry and the sea of brands that are within this space, and see the ones that are doing mistakes. That's why guys like Josh Shaw have a great purpose in this industry, because brands should hire people like him. They should bring people like Josh in. They should bring people like me and Josh in to consult with them and figure out exactly what they are. Because the first question that I would ask the brands is, who are you? Who are you? Really. And this is, if you're listening to this and you're a supplement company, ask yourself that question first before anything else. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who are you trying to be, or who do you want to be? What do you want to be? If you can't fully define that within 5 seconds, you should know that. You should know that, right? You should know exactly who you are as a brand. Fitness Informant knows exactly who we are as a brand. We are a stand-up tall, head-on straight, no bullshit company that's going to provide accurate information out there for the community and society, so that way when they make decisions, when it comes to their health, fitness, and wellness, they are making that decision from an educated point of view. That's who I am. So I challenge you as a supplement company, the brand. Who are you? And if you find any sort of value in this conversation, I'd love for you to email me, ryan@fitnessinformant.com, and tell me who you think you are as a brand. And for me as a consumer, I'll let you know if I think that perception is correct. I'll let you know if I think that your definition of who you are as a brand is the perception that consumers see. Because when you define who you are and what you stand for as a brand, you should behave and act in that way. Consumers should know that, right? So if we go back to this company, NutraBio, and we talk about them, and I use them because it's a very clear on who and what they want to be. They fully disclose everything. They want to educate. They want to help. They want to create high-quality supplements. They know. Mark Glazer, who's been a guest on this podcast, knows exactly who they are. I bet you, if you ask anybody who is a NutraBio consumer, they will be able to tell you essentially word for word exactly what Mark Glazer tells me. I mean, that close. That's how close it's going to be, because Mark preaches what he is as a brand. He lets the society knows who he wants to be and who he stands for, and the consumers see that in how he acts and how he behaves as a CEO, and how the brand sets itself up at events like the Arnold and the Olympia, and in their innovation and their product launches. All that should be should synchronize with each other. And if it doesn't, if you have something that's an outlier, you should look at that and ask yourself, like, why are you in that space? Why are you doing that? If your consumer doesn't necessarily know who you are, that's a bad thing. They should know who you are and what you stand for 7 days of the week, 24/7. And it happens a lot. And it's not just in this industry. It's every industry. Everywhere people that have that issue. And then once you know who you are and your target consumer, you can know who your target consumer is, every product launch that you have should have a higher chance of success. Now, you can have aspirational targets, right? Like you can have, that your consumer is a middle-aged white male that lifts 3 days a week. I mean, that's being very, very defined on who I'm talking about. And anybody outside that bubble who comes in and buys your products, that could be like an aspirational target. Like you should have your core customer, and then you should have your aspirational target. You should have, who is it that you need to bring into this circle to increase your revenue, to increase your business, to increase your footprint. And if you think about brands in this space that are really successful and ones that have done really well in terms of revenue, and I'm going to talk about Redcon because they were our 2018 brand of the year, and a big part of that was because they were able to grow at 300%. We recently just launched an article over at fitnessinformant.com where they partnered with the Academy Sports and Outdoors company. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it's like a Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like it's a Bass Pro Shops, but with all sports. And you think about the target consumer for Redcon 1. Redcon 1 started with Aaron Singerman as a more of a sort of like a hardcore type of a supplement company with like a cool edge to it, but they really catered to like that military lifestyle. So you'll see the Redcon 1 ads in all the military magazines. They offer a great military discount, but there are people who are not in the military that live lifestyles very similar to those in the military, like tough, hard-nosed, clang and bang iron. Like they know exactly what they want to, or who they want to go after. They know exactly who their target consumer is. That's why their marketing is so good. He spends all that money in marketing. It better be good, and it is. But he has strategic partnerships in what he does and where he releases it. Academy Sports and Outdoors is a great partnership for Redcon 1. It's a great opportunity for Aaron to expand distribution on the Redcon 1 brand within the United States in a store that his target consumer is shopping at. You see people all the time posting pictures of Total War on the gun range. Or they're carrying around a handgun or whatever it might be, like that type of lifestyle. You're not gonna you don't necessarily see a 23-year-old female who does yoga 4 days a week posing with Redcon 1 products. They don't do that because they're not the consumer. And Aaron knows that. He's not going to release an ad with that type of stuff. He's not going to do a Facebook pixel targeting and firing at those people. This is what brands need to do in this space. They need to just take a time, take a weekend, take a week, because it will pay off in the long run. To sit down and define who they are as a company, as a brand. They should put a mission statement, a vision statement, and company values on a wall or in a notebook somewhere where it's written down. That should be, as Josh Shaw says, your North Star. You should innovate towards that. You should behave like that. And you should also get to know who your consumer is. Who is buying you today? Because two mistakes that brands make are very simple. And we kind of touched on them. Mistake number one, when I ask brands in this space, what is your mission statement? They will respond 9 times out of 10 to become the largest supplement company in the world. It's exhausting hearing that as an answer because it's an incorrect answer. That's not a right answer. That is not a mission statement. That is a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. That is a goal that you want to accomplish in 10 years. You want to be the largest sports nutrition company in the world. Your BHAG is a selfish goal. What do you want? Your mission statement should be unselfish. It should be about the consumer. It should be about them, not you. So your mission statement should be, how do you want to change the world? How do you want people to perceive you? What do you want people to take away from your products and your brand? Like, how can you improve their quality of life? That's a mission statement. Your vision statement is, how do you accomplish that mission statement, right? Like, if my mission statement is simple, that people make every fitness, wellness, nutrition decision in their life from an educated point of view, my vision then is that Fitness Informant might be the first place that people go to get their information before they make that decision, or they spend time on the FI website. And my values are simple: transparency, honesty, integrity, stand up, no bullshit, and also be kind to people, because that goes a long way. So my challenge to supplement companies are very simple, right? Define who you are, do a mission, a vision, and values, and then really get to know your consumer. Because mistake number 2, like I mentioned earlier, is when you ask them who their target consumer is, they will tell you, everybody buys us. Everybody might buy you, but that's not who's loyal to you. Those who are loyal to you will make sure that your lights stay on. Customer acquisition costs a ton. Customer acquisition is 10x customer retention. Because after you have a customer and you give a customer a good experience and they believe in you, you should never have to spend a dime on them again. And they actually should start making you money. Because when a customer who's loyal to you, and that's the customer that you need to get to know, loves what you do, loves what you stand for, and loves your product, they become a salesman for your company. How often do you go through Instagram and see somebody who's not affiliated with a company posting a picture of their protein shake or their protein container because they believe in the company? They believe in what that company is selling. And because of their post, your brand now is in front of a bunch of new eyes that you didn't have to pay for. You get a bunch of earned media for free. It can go a long way, people, if you do it right, but that's the biggest challenge, is to do it right. You don't just need to jump into this industry and think you're going to get rich quick. That's not how you do it. That's not how this works. There's no rich, quick solutions. You build a brand the right way, the brand will stand the test of time, meaning nothing can affect you. And those are the brands out there who are scared or worried about the influx of brands coming into the space, the brands that are 700 plus in this space, and they have an issue with that. My response to you is this: if you have an issue with there being so many brands in your space, then you're not confident enough in what you are as a company. So figure out who you are, what you stand for, put that stuff on the wall, know your target consumer, and guess what? Not any amount of companies that come into your space should ever threaten you, because your consumer loves you, they know who you are, you care to that consumer. That consumer now becomes an indirect sales rep for your company, making you money, keeping your lights on for the long term. It's really hard to kind of break everything down in 25 minutes on how to build a brand and build a business. But how has FI, Fitness Informant, become so successful in such a little time? So we know who we are. We know who our target consumer is, and we stay true to who we are. Anything that we put out there, the content that we post, it does not jeopardize what we are. And that's why I got so pissed off last year when people and brands accused me of accepting payment for Redcon 1 winning the brand of the year. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That would go against my values. That would go against what I'm trying to accomplish. I made the decision for brand of the year based on exactly what we all just talked about. And by what we all, I mean me. What I just talked about for the last 25 minutes. That is why brand of the year was given to Redcon 1. That is why Redcon 1 is so successful. That is why Redcon 1 can discount their products on their direct-to-consumer website, redcon1.com. They can offer 30% discounts, making their product super affordable. But brick-and-mortar stores are still demanding to carry the Redcon 1 product because consumers are walking into those stores and asking that store, why aren't they carrying Redcon 1? Because they like it. They think it's cool. They like what Redcon 1 stands for. So retailers don't have a choice. Singerman and companies discounting their products at 30% on Redcon 1, and retailers are being forced to carry it because consumers still want it and they still buy it at the retail store. That's a brand, people. That is a brand. You sell direct, you can sell through wholesale, you can sell to online retailers and brick and mortar, and you can establish relationships like the Academy Sports and Outdoors that they just did. There are other brands that do really good in this area too. You know, there's brands like the Genius brand I mentioned in the opening. They're doing a really good job of standing by who they are, and they know who their target consumer is. And because of that, they're going to grow, and they've grown tremendously. There are brands that brands like NutriBio, right? I mean, there are just so many different brands out there. The brands like, you know, Muscle Sport and Kodiak and Purge, and I know the guys out there, and I know Chris Waldman, Inspired Nutraceuticals. Like, they know who they are. And like, you look at you look at brands like Black Magic and MyoBlocks, which are similar, but they know who they are as a company, and because of that, that drives their innovation strategy and their products, and they then know who their consumer is. They realize that Berserker from Black Magic is not going to be a pre-workout for everybody. That's why they're not trying to say this is a pre-workout for everybody. There is a niche consumer for that. And as long as you can serve, if you can overserve an underserved niche, you can make money. And what I mean by that is there is little pockets of people within this space who are being underserved by the supplement companies at large. And if you can find that and you can do something that will serve them, you will have a loyal customer base that will sell your product for you. So the goals this year for FI are to continue to grow and continue to educate people so that way when they go into a vitamin shop or John Doe's supplement shop, whatever it might be, or a sups.com, they're buying products based on being more knowledgeable. And because of that, they will live a better version, healthier version of their life. It's great. I mean, it's been fun. There are people that reach out to me all the time that thank us for what we're doing, and we're onto something big. The rebrand represents who and what we are as a company now. We're edgy. We're no bullshit company. We're still transparent. That's what the scratches in the logo is for. You can see through it. There are stars within the circle. The stars represent each and every single one of you listening to this podcast. You guys are fucking rock stars. The FI is me. All of us collectively together are within that circle of trust, man. If that circle of trust is broken, FI will cease to exist. And that is why I will stay true to what we stand for since day one. That will not waver. That will not falter. I will not fuck that up because it's important to me that the information that you get from me is honest, accurate, truthful, and I steer you in the right direction. So that's this week's little tip in episode 16. I really hope that you got some wisdom from this. I really hope that the information that I provided, especially if you're a supplement company, or if you're thinking about starting just a company in general, like seriously think about it and put some time into this thing. Not everybody gets rich overnight. It takes time. Like I've been doing this for 2 years at FI. I haven't made a goddamn dime. In fact, I put more money into this company, and that's fine because I care about the mission and what I'm trying to do. But now 2019, it's starting to pay off, right? People are starting to understand what we're trying to accomplish, and they want a piece of it. They want to be a part of what Fitness Informant represents because we've stayed true to ourselves since day one. And if you do that, again, good things can come and good things will happen to you. But if you jeopardize anything for short-term gain, my God, it can really, really mess you up. And those are just business decisions that you make. You really need to evaluate every business decision that comes out and think about the long-term and short-term impact it's going to have on your business. It's fun. Business is fun. I'm very passionate about business. I'm very passionate about Fitness Informant. It allows me to combine my passions of fitness and supplementation education that with running a business. And this year we're going to do well. And like I mentioned earlier, what I'm pumped up about this week is at the Arnold. If you're going to be at the Arnold Classic by any means at all, look for me. I'll be in a black or white polo with the FI logo, the new FI logo. I'll have a black hat like this with an FI logo on it probably. I'll be hanging out with the boys and girls within this industry, getting content for FI. If you're passionate about this space like I am, like I said, we're looking for 3 to 4 reviewers. Hit me up. Email me, Ryan@fitnessinformant.com. Message us on Facebook, fitnessinformant.com/Facebook. Go ahead and send us a DM on Instagram. We're at Fitness Informant now. That's right. Anyway, just hit me up. We'll hook you up with the application online because there's a process, right? You need to be able to fit the standards of FI. I'm not going to have somebody help us out that doesn't believe in the same principles and aspects that we do. You have to believe in transparency, honesty, integrity, and you can't be scared about hurting someone's feelings. Let me know. This was fun, guys. This is fun. I will promise I will get guests on this podcast. I will be having Mike Roberto and Shane Smith back from Stack soon. I got Kenton Engel has been a major request to have him back. He debated Ian Bell, if you remember, on the Real real muscle versus core debate that we had. That was big. So we're going to have Kenton come back, and we're going to film a bunch of podcasts at the Arnold. Looking forward to that. We'll be at the Olympia as well. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me directly, Ryan@fitnessinformant.com. Message us on Facebook or DM. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels. Our website is awesome. It's great. It's fitnessinformant.com. Every review that we've ever written is published live right there at fitnessinformant.com. Make sure you go and check that out. You will not be disappointed. I'll sign off here. This has been a fun little week. Like I said, it's a fun week. Looking forward to seeing my friends and everybody in Columbus. Again, that's still a couple months away, but in 2 weeks we will. We're trying to work on a really big guest here, and schedules are tough. But you guys know how it is. I'll keep bringing you content that you want to hear, and we'll take it from there. So let's keep this going. Let's keep it going. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening. If you liked what you heard, check out some of the other podcasts with some of the guests like Chris Gethin, Branch Warren, Mark Lobler, Aaron Singerman. They're all great listens. We actually had Ashley Horner on too, who is just a beautiful human being. Great to have her on. And we shed the truth, man. We spit the truth here. We don't fuck around. We don't push through a bullshit. So I appreciate everybody supporting, listening. Go ahead, subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and write us a review if you like what you heard. Again, that helps out with the algorithm to help us get in front of more people who are interested in the field of sports nutrition, fitness, workouts, diets, health, all that great stuff. So until next time, we hope you got some information from this. Do me a favor, you be informed, live fit, everybody take care, drive safe, and lift hard. Let's go.